Hello well-wishers and welcome to my channel Aspiring Minds. In today's video, we are going to do a very simple and beautiful poem called Vocation, written by the poet laureate Rabindranath Tagore. So grab your virtual seats and let's begin this poetic journey. Rabindranath Tagore was a renowned Bengali poet, philosopher, musician, and Nobel laureate in literature. He is best known for his literary works including poetry, short stories, and songs. His works often reflect his deep spiritual insights, and he played a significant role in the cultural and artistic development of India during the late 19th and early 20th century. Vocation by Rabindranath Tagore is a very short and reflective poem that explores the poet's thoughts about different vocations. You might be wondering what is the meaning of the word vocation. It means a profession, the job of a person, and he observes people in his daily life. The poem presents a series of scenarios or situations where the poet imagines what it would be like to be a hawker, a gardener, or a watchman. Through these scenarios, Tagore thinks about how freedom and simplicity of these occupations are beautiful in contrast with his own life as a schoolgoer. So the central message of the poem Vocation is a quest for simplicity and freedom that can be found in various everyday vocations as observed by the poet during his daily routine. In the first stanza, the poet describes his morning routine as he heads to school. You can see it's written when the gong sounds 10 in the morning, so the time is given to you. Now, while he's going to school, he sees a hawker selling bangles on his way, and the hawker's cry of bangles, crystal bangles, catches the attention of the speaker. The poet is almost jealous of the freedom of the hawker because the hawker has no set path. It does not have a specific destination or a time to return home to, or a time to go back to school to, or whatever it is. So the hawker's life seems unburdened, unrestricted, free, leading the poet to wish that he could too be a hawker and enjoy the simplicity of this life. You have to also remember that it is a schoolboy's perspective that is being established over here. In the second stanza, the poet returns from school. So on his way back in the afternoon, the poet observes a gardener working in a nearby house. This gardener is described by the poet as being free to do as he pleases with his spade, getting dirty and working in the sun without anyone directing him, controlling him. So the poet longs for this kind of freedom, wishing that he too could be a gardener, dig in the garden without anyone hindering him. So you could over here hint that if a schoolboy comes back and goes to a garden to play, he will always be under the supervision of an adult, right? And then also his time at playing in the garden is very limited, and that too he is not completely free because the boy knows that he is being watched by an elderly person at play. So in contrast to that, he sees that the gardener is just going about with his daily duty. He is not being looked upon by anyone. He is just doing as he pleases. So that is the life that the speaker craves for here. In the final stanza, as evening approaches, the poet is sent to bed by his mother. That is, even the fact when the speaker should go to sleep, that too is not decided by his own free will. However, at this time also the poet or the little boy observes the watchman's nightly routine outside his window. The watchman walks up and down the dark and lonely lane carrying a lantern that creates a giant-like figure with one glowing red eye. The watchman's vigilance continues throughout the night without him ever going to bed. So the poet expresses his desire now to be a watchman. He wants to be patrolling like the watchman on the streets at night, chasing shadows with his lantern. This profession represents another form of freedom for the poet. even in darkness and solitude of the night. So basically, he is craving freedom, whether it is by observing a hawker in the morning, or observing a gardener at duty in the afternoon, or even a watchman in the dark hours of the night. The ultimate aim of the poet or the speaker is that he wants freedom. So what are the three major themes of the poem? First is, of course, freedom and simplicity. The poem explores the longing for simple life and freedom that can be found in everyday vocations. The poet observes the lives of a hawker, a gardener, and a watchman. All of them seem not to be bound by any kind of a strict or a rigid schedule or expectations of society. But in reality, do you think is that true? I don't think so, because the hawker has specific times of the day when he can be selling about his articles. Similarly for the gardener and the watchman as well. But from the perspective of the little boy, it seems that yes, they are not bound by any kind of strict or watertight schedule. Next is a yearning for a different life. The poet wants a life different from his own, one that is less driven by any kind of challenges or constraints of formal education, because it is a little boy who is going to school, we are told. So he is of course feeling burdened and pressurized by formal education and the obligations which come along with it, and he is finding his life to be very complicated in contrast to these people whom he thinks are free. And next we also see how there is the poem presenting us a contrast to the life of a schoolgoer. There is a comparison being drawn between a schoolgoer and that of an unstructured and carefree life, that of a hawker, gardener and watchman. Do let me know in the comment section down below which kind of life would you prefer between these two types which have been presented in the poem. So that's it from this video. I hope you liked it. Do hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel for more such future updates. Thank you for watching. Bye.